That's where most of my family lived, but now they're spread out in between Lafayette all the way to Corliss. After Hurricane Rita, we still had our school, but it had to be remodeled just a little bit. But after Ike, it was totally demolished and we had to have it torn down, and we were about to get a new school, a new two-story school. Right now we're in temporary buildings. We've been in them for about 2 years. Before both hurricanes, we had about 200 kids. Now we're down to 59. They had a post office, a deli, and quite a few people were employed here. But after the hurricane, they lost their jobs, and this is their main source of money. Now we just finally got our track back, so I can finally work on track, and we got our basketball gym, so we got to actually practice in our own gym and not travel an hour to Sulphur practice and then travel a whole hour back. One of the things that I used to have when I was younger was a place to just go hang out and play, and go play at the playground and with my friends. But the kids over here these days, they don't have a place to go and just go have fun.
Like, we used to have dances and stuff at the rec, so we had things for us to do, but now there's like nothing there. There's just the daycare. I think we need to have like more interesting. We used to have dance classes there, and now we just have the workout room.
That's correct. Back in 2000, we started. We had a youth director. We had dances. I think you remember that whenever we had those dances. What happened is that we brought in some technology. The recreation center had to start competing with the video games. Had to start doing with Facebook. Mm-hmm. You know, kids don't come out and do things as younger kids, and as technology grows, it seems like we just get away from trying to find avenues that we can make kids, because you don't want to go to the rec and just sit. You want to do something. We have some playground equipment, but recreation center is really a hard deal to deal with. I went to the parents and said, okay, if I'm going to have participation in a recreation center, I need you to bring your kids here. Now down in South Cameron, in Johnson Bayou, those facilities really did well because the children had to travel such long distances to do something. In Grand Lake area, we have a problem with the area up in Lake Charles, but there again, the recreation centers are being built down in Cameron. They have some in Creo, but it takes time to rebuild that.
So I was in 6th grade when Hurricane Rita came through and our house was ruined. We had to destroy it completely and start over from the ground up. We actually bought a trailer. Hurricane Ike came through, and then we had to rip up all the floors in our new house and put new ones down because it got just in the house. So I think that we should have more parks to hang out around here, places in general, because we have to go to Lake Charles to go to the nearest park or place that we can do anything. And movies or putt-putt, anything that we want to do, there's nothing to do out here. When I get older, I plan on going to Louisiana State University and graduating with a law degree, but coming back to Cameron Parish wouldn't help me very much because there's not a lot of people out here. So I'm probably going to have to move somewhere with a larger population so I could actually have a job.
Has there ever been a talk about building a blueprint for future restaurants or stores or gas stations for the public to build on?
We have an economic development office, a section there. That is just what they do. They actually have properties that's designated and actually has been advertised as industrial parks. We have areas that we have like the Jetty Pier. We've have property there that's available for entrepreneurs to sell baits and so forth. And we do advertise. If you don't bring in the jobs, then the other things are going to be slow to come to. But yes, that is something that we have going as it is right now. That we are doing that.
Well, I was in 7th grade when Hurricane Rita hit. I lived right up next to my mom's house, my Uncle Greg's house then. And I mean, we lived down here, and I went to school at South Cameron Elementary, and everything was all fine and dandy until September 2005 Rita hit. Everything kind of changed then. We evacuated. We came in, I guess, about a month or two after the storm. They finally let us back in, and my grandma's house back behind me had 2 to 3 foot of mud in it, and it was pretty much ruined at the bottom. And then my dad's house, where I lived at in Creole, it was on 8 foot in the air on pylons, and it was completely gone. Everything changed. It kind of scattered all of my friends and family, and Hurricane Ike hit, and pretty much put us back from the beginning. It didn't mess up our houses or anything, but we had to rebuild fence and like fix everything around here again and clean up all the debris and everything. My mom's house, the muddy water splashed in the back door, but it didn't get any further than that. And we moved to our school. We were in portable buildings at the time when Ike hit, and then they moved us back into our portable buildings number 2 at South Cameron. And they started rebuilding our school, and my senior year we're finally in our new school. And my mom swears that she spent at least $20,000 on fence and stuff for cows along. Nobody can really afford the insurance they put on their houses, and they can't afford to jack their houses up 10 feet in the air for insurance purposes, because insurance won't cover them if they don't follow up. After I graduate from South Cameron High, I plan on attending Magnice, and I'm either going to get a degree to be a biologist or go in pre-vet and then go to LSU and become a veterinarian. And after I finish school and everything, I plan on moving back down here to help out our community, because I mean, this is where I was born and raised. I don't plan on being anywhere else. But a biologist, you work at a refuge, you'll always have a refuge, but to be a veterinarian down here.
If I want to go to college and become a teacher in the agricultural field, and that the older generation has told me to come back to Cameron and work for our parish and go to our schools, but do I want to go back to a school that has nobody there and has a small population? Because I want students to participate in the activities that I'm offering in the classes. And is that like a win-win situation, or am I just going to lose?
I would say that would be a win-win situation because of the simple fact of the size of South Cameron. They have population there, and they're going to stay there. What better way to start a teaching career to have not 50 kids in a class, but maybe 20 kids in a class that you can get them to participate and do one-on-one and make people excited. So you could take that as a negative and turn it into a positive, but that has to come from every one of us trying to do our part to bring Cameron up. We cannot expect everybody else to do something for us. Each and every one of us at this age is going to have to dig down a little bit deeper and fight for what we want to do. Always pick up the phone and call your Polish German, call the office, make your ideas known, because an idea that's not ever told is not an idea. And sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes we're all blinded, but we need information from all age groups.